Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's going on, guys? Today we're making a bit of a random video, but it feels needed after what happened yesterday. We're talking about Lillard's 71-point performance. And not just that, we're talking about Lillard in general.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about the actual game. Dude, absolutely incredible. I tuned in towards the end because I saw he got 41 at halftime. But usually when that happens, I knew so much of a blow. I thought, oh, whatever, he's going to get to like 50 points or 50 something. But I didn't think it was going to be that historic. But it turned out that the Blazers, they're not that good, so the Rockets got into it again. They were only down by 5 points, which is funny because if Lillard would have had this monster of a game, they might have lost. Which is crazy to say, but that just shows you how bad the Blazers have been and how much Lillard truly cares about making it to a playoffs. One of the best games of all time, like a top 10 scoring game, and the second 70-point game of the season. And I was talking to Ale, no hate to Donovan Mitchell, but as a Lillard fan, this means a lot more to me, and I think to the NBA, just because Lillard's one of those people that sadly, because of the thing that he has on, he does have a lot of accomplishments.
For
so
sure.
Seeing the whole world come together to like appreciate him, after he has been so
It's the 5th greatest game in NBA history.
Like with the stats thing, right?
Yeah, with the game score, it's the 5th greatest game in NBA history according to game score. Donovan Mitchell is higher.
Dude, that's crazy because Luka. So we have
but
three.
Donovan Mitchell almost had a triple-double that
Nah,
game
of course,
score.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. But and the Embiid one from this year, right?
Yes.
Because so we have had 4 of the greatest games of all time this season.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I mean, it just shows you like the scoring, the offensive input that we have.
How much talent
nowadays.
is in NBA?
Yeah, the talent is crazy, bro.
Like, you can talk about how now it's easy to score and everything, but I don't think you should use that to take away from what you're seeing, bro. These players are talented, bro. Like, even if defense is not good, you still gotta make the shots.
For
and
sure.
That's impressive at the clip that these players are making it. Now, but you're gonna tell me that, like, if back then Lillard would have made those like half-court shots, but that's impressive no matter what team is going
Absolutely,
against.
absolutely. And I think people don't really understand that. At the end of the day, like, bro, that's impressive. I don't care if the defense is still bad. You still got to make those shots. Lillard still make those 50-footers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are still hard shots to make. And what I have to say, it's funny because I was watching the game, and I watched the beginning, and I was like, holy shit, this shit is boring, bro. And I turned it off because I was like, oh, Damian's just playing like himself in the beginning. And I just turned it off, and then I see that he had 60, and it was like the 4th quarter. And I was like, oh, he's going to sub out. They were up by like 15. And then I saw that he got 71. I got mad at myself. I was like, damn, I should have watched history right there. But no, I mean, it's super impressive. And yeah, I think the Blazers needed this win. Absolutely. The Rockets, I think this should have been a more dominant win, but I don't think the Rockets were playing that bad today.
No.
I mean, yesterday. But yeah, man, that's so impressive. And what you were saying about Lillard is like, he's just so underappreciated just because he's been on that team. And look, keeping it 1,000, we don't think he should be there. His talent is not being used correctly. And it's not even his fault. It's just more like, and it's not even the team's fault at the end of the day. It's like, no one really wants to be a trailblazer. And nobody wants to do that. And it's hard to land your drafts all the time, especially with a guy like Lillard. He wants to compete every single year. So like, if you have a guy that wants to keep competing, then it's kind of like the Wizards. They fall down. And the reason why we take it more seriously than the Wizards is because the Blazers actually try to do their best. It's just it's very difficult. You know what I'm saying? And look at this team right now. It's super mediocre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I do want to say this, and I feel like this is our fault too as NBA fans, that we put so much weight into championships that when we're talking about the all-time players, we should completely disrespect people like Lillard. You know, when we're talking about them. But Lillard is one of the greatest players of all time, whether he wins or doesn't, because we all know that if he was put in the situation to win, he would. Just like Kyrie. I think Kyrie's a perfect example. That one championship they got with the Cavaliers, obviously, is one of the best of all time. But I think we put Lillard in a situation like that, he wouldn't perform shows as good. And he would, we all know his clutch. And I feel like people sometimes criticize too much the playoff performance that he has had, but they don't realize that it's hard to play so good in the playoffs when your team is not the best because they can put so much focus on you. But I think if you put Lillard as the second best player on a team, but he will play insane. Because you got to think about that. He has never been the second best player on his team.
Not even the second best player, just with a better coaster.
Yeah, it's just like he has never had a. Like, even Luka right now has Kyrie, but Lillard has never had Lillard has never had an all-star secondary player.
Yeah, it would have been like LaMarcus, but he was obviously too young.
Nah, of course. I forget about LaMarcus, but even back then, he wasn't the Lillard that we know now.
Yeah.
And McCollum, he was super solid, but he was right under all-star. So, yeah, just wanted to come out here and give some respect to Lillard. It sucks that he's on the team, and he's probably going to stay on the team forever, but let's just continue appreciating what we have him.
Yeah, this was more of a shorter video, but we just really wanted to come out here and just just celebrate this man's greatness, and I feel like he has gone underappreciated. You gotta keep this in mind. Like nobody cares or even talks about it. Top 75 player all time. Like he was voted that by the media, the NBA players, and whoever voted for that. Like you know how impressive that is, bro. In all NBA history, he was named one of the top 75 players of all time, and this is a guy that hasn't even won a championship. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that is crazy, and he's getting older already. He's 32 years old. And it just a lot of players in this era, like we disrespect Kevin Durant as well for going to the Warriors and stuff, especially this dude. But he appreciates the Kevin Durant.
But I disrespected him for going to Warriors because of how good he is.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, bro, we don't come out here and disrespect players.
You know, actually, now we're on the point. This is the last point I'll make. KD felt like he needed to go to Warriors because of how much the fans value championships. Because he knew that if he would have stayed on the Thunder, no matter how great he was, no matter how good he played in the playoffs, no matter how unlucky they got so many times, he still would have been disrespected the rest of his career for not winning championships.
For sure.
Yeah, so I think us as NBA fans, I'm not saying that we should stop caring about championships, but we should look at the context of things and not should look at it so black and white because it's not. And
it never is. It never is,
bro. It never is. Even for like LeBron, LeBron that has 4 rings.
It's a lot of players nowadays, man. It's a lot of players in this modern game that we don't respect. Look at Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's a champion. Kyrie Irving is one of the best players of this generation. We disrespect him on a daily basis. Like, calling this man a crazy ass dude, you know what I'm saying? And Russell Westbrook, like, you know, we don't disrespect Russ. We disrespect the fans, the way they talk about Russ, and just the hypocrisy that they've used to talk about him. But Russ is extremely disrespected as well. And this man is a Hall of Famer. He's won an MVP. And it's like all these players nowadays that I think that they don't get the respect that they deserve. And I feel like before, that was never the case. I feel like players didn't really get disrespected like that. I mean, obviously we weren't there.
Yeah, social media and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays everybody looks at the stats and they don't really understand what goes behind everything. But it's hard to win a championship. Only one team wins a championship every single year.
And look, there's a lot of players that are just simply not gonna win a championship, and we have to be okay with that as fans.
Did Chris Paul just win a championship? But he's still one of the best players of all time,
bro. And look, that's a guy that I think. And look, that's true. I think Chris Paul, like, he's a guy that like people don't weigh that much on him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people be like getting on. So the thing is that the people, it's because I think with Dame, it's that he's just staying in that one team, and I think people really want him to leave.
Yeah.
But whatever. So we just want to come out here and just talk a little bit about that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.